Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of TechteamGB. Today we're going to take a look at the MSI Siberia V2 gaming headset. Stay tuned. Right guys, so we're just going to kick off the review with a tour around the headset. This headset is a SteelSeries headset with a load of MSI branding. The first thing that stood out to me about this pair of headphones was their ear cup design. With a mesh back on them, I presumed they were of the open variety, when in actual fact they're a closed pair of headphones, meaning most outside sounds will be blocked out, which is definitely what you want when it comes to gaming. The ear cups themselves are made of a soft leather-like material, which I find extremely comfortable even when using the headset for a longer time than I'd like to admit to. One great thing about this type of material as well is that it has little wearing time, meaning it's comfortable pretty much right out of the box. Inside of the ear cup itself is made of a foam material, which has an MSI gaming logo printed on. One thing that really makes my skin crawl about any gaming headset, or headset in general, is when the inside of the ear cup touches my ear. Thankfully, I didn't have this problem with this particular headset. The headband is definitely something that can make or break a headset for me. This headset has a suspended type one, which while makes the headset look kinda cool, can make it slightly more difficult to position correctly on your head. The underside of the headband is made of a fabric type material, which seems to do a really good job of stopping any kind of sweat accumulating. The headset also has a built-in retractable mono microphone, which we'll do a bit more testing on later. I wasn't a massive fan of the mechanism that this is used, as I felt that sometimes I had to ram it to get it back in. It's not a massive issue, although I did notice it and it could be slightly improved in a future model. The cable attached to the headset is rather short at only 1 meter in length. It has two separate jacks, one for the mic and one for your speakers, as well as an inline volume wheel and mic switch. The headset also comes with a 2 meter extension cable, which was a much needed accessory, at least for me anyway. Although once you did connect this 2 meter extension cable, I did find that the lead was too long then. Now onto the build quality. This was something that I was rather underwhelmed with. It's not exactly the most expensive headset ever, at only around about £60, but for that price anyway I'd expect some high quality plastics, or anything just to make the product slightly more high quality. I understand that it's a gaming headset and made to be slightly light, or that just does feel a bit too cheap, at least for me anyway. Alright guys, so now we're just going to talk about how they sound. This is probably the bit you've all been waiting for. Now one thing you've got to take into account is that I'm not some massive audiophile and I don't listen to music on £1,000 headphones, so I'm perhaps not the best person to talk about how they sound, but I do have my own opinions on them. Now pretty much all of it sounded really great to me, although one thing I did notice is that the bass was slightly lacking. Now this is probably more towards the fact that they're aimed towards gamers and not so much music listeners. That doesn't mean in any way that you can't listen to music on them, it's just not what they're targeted for, but they do work for listening to music. Alright guys, so now we're just going to talk about the microphone quality. It's not the greatest sounding mic ever, it's not the worst either. My original intent was to finish off the rest of the video with the mic test, but since it's not that great I didn't really want to ruin the quality of the video by making half of the audio just sound terrible. So what I'll do instead is I'll put a little snippet in now so you can hear how it sounds. Alright guys, this is just a quick test to see how the headset microphone sounds. Leave me a comment to tell me what you think. Personally I think it just sounds right. So obviously now you can drum up your own opinions on how you think it sounds. I don't think it sounds that great, but then for things like Skype calls, in-game chat, it's perhaps not too bad. So now I'm just going to move on to my final thoughts on the headset itself, and then we'll move on to the scores. So I've been testing it for around about a month now, so I've had plenty of time to test it in a wide range of scenarios, such as listening to music, playing games, watching movies, watching YouTube videos, anything like that. So I've had plenty of time to test it in all these different scenarios and come up with my final opinion. Now one thing that definitely stood out to me was the very short cable length. I think a meter is just too short for a headset like this. I think if they made it around about 1.5 meters, that'd be a very good decision, and I don't think having a 2 meter extension lead is really the answer either, so I'm not exactly sure what they were thinking there. It's as if they perhaps thought you might be using this for something like your iPod, but I don't think anyone will really be taking a headset around like this, so I'm not too sure exactly what they were thinking. The other point that I brought up was the slightly lacking bass. Now obviously this is very subjective. I'm quite a bass head, so more bass appeals to me, but it might not be the answer to everyone. Now in my general use scenario, I think the headset sounds really good. Obviously, like I said, I'm not some massive audiophile, but at least to me, I think it sounds really good. Alright guys, so down to the final scores. For value for money, I'm going to give it a 4, because I think it should be priced slightly lower. I think around about £40 would be a better decision. For performance, I'm going to give it a 4. For functionality, I'm going to give it a 5, because as a headset, it works very, very well. For style, I'm going to give it a 5. Obviously, this is very subjective, but I like the way it looks. And as a TechteamGB score, it's going to get a 4. Alright guys, so thanks for watching this episode of TechteamGB. If you like the video, then hit the like button. If you dislike it, then hit the dislike button. If you did dislike it though, I'm not sure why you decided to watch it the entire way through. So if you did dislike it, then leave us a comment so you can tell us what to improve on next time. As always, hit the subscribe button so you can watch more amazing content like this video. Share it so all your friends can watch it. Favourite it so you can come back to it next time, and we'll see you all next time. Goodbye!